Hey there, RC pilots. This is my F-15 made by Airfield. I got this through Nitro Planes. 64 millimeter inducted fan. I got it in the airframe only because I want to put my own electronics in it and also upgrade in the size of the fan. Now, since this was a 64 millimeter, I had to do some modifications in where the fan goes, where the battery goes, and where the receiver goes, which is what I will show you now. Let me turn this over. As you can see, I put the plane together. It was an easy build. There weren't much to it when it's just the airframe. Okay, now the first modification that I did to this was the area that the fan went in. So this is the area, and that area right here where it's all white is the area that I had to modify. I had to take my Dremel and dig that area out so that the bigger fan would fit in there. And I didn't have to do it didn't take a lot, you know. So I would place the fan in there, take it out, and do a little more until it was able to fit in there nice and flat. And also, I also had to do it to the cover. So as you can see, I had to modify the cover. So, but it still fits nice. It didn't change at all as far as how it fits in that space. So let me show you the fans now, so you can see the difference in size. Okay, now, this is the housing they provide for you when you get the airframe. And as you can see, you know, 64 millimeter. And now this is the fan. That's the 70 millimeter. Bigger in length, bigger in diameter. Of course, bigger motor. So what I did was, once I placed this in here, I took it out, did more, and so forth. So here is the way it looks. Nice and snug right in there. What I will do is I'll put double-sided tape on the bottom of this fan and drop it in there, so it will stick to the foam and pretty well lock it in place, and I shouldn't have any worries of it moving. But the cover fits really nice and tight in there, so that is another way for it to lock it in there without any way for it to move. And now I also had to cut this little square out. Now there was a square there, but it wasn't as deep into this as what I have. So you see what it looks like with a cover. It's nice and tight. And now the ESC will end up sitting right there. I'll probably put a little bit of tape right there. Now I've already run all my servos, everything. I hooked it up. Everything runs properly. So that's the modification to the compartment where the fan goes. And it was easy, you know. You just got to do it slowly so you don't end up digging too much out. Now, since the fan is bigger, so will the battery. What I had to do was modify the area that the battery was going to go. Okay, so originally the battery for this jet is in here. This is the compartment for the battery, and it's fairly small. So you see, this is the battery that's gonna go in this jet, and it's fairly big. It's 4-cell, 20C, 14.8, 2200 milliamp battery, a LiPo, and no way will this thing fit into there. So I had to find a place. So this modification here is here in this area. Now this area is where the receiver went, and all the wires came up to here, and you would hook it up, and that's where that sat. But since I have a bigger battery, I had to modify this area for it to sit here. So what I did was I got the width of the battery, and I had to shave this area on both sides until it was enough for the battery to slide in, and I had to shave this area a little because of the connection for the charger would sit like this. And just so you can see how it fits, well, now the length of this compartment just happens to be the length of this battery, so which made it easy, and I don't have to worry about it sliding forward or backwards. So now this is how this fits. So once you get past that point, nice and tight. So and that battery is not going to go anywhere once it's in there. Now, that's where originally the receiver was set up to go, but now that it's taken by the battery, I had to find a new location for the receiver. Well, I went online, asked some questions, someone gave me some suggestions, sent me to some places to watch, and found another guy that did a little bit of modifications. He didn't put a bigger motor, but he did put a bigger battery, and had to relocate his receiver, so I kind of followed his idea. So this area here, I took a X-Acto knife and I cut it a nice little square in the right behind the cockpit, and cut it all the way through because it's actually hollow all the way down inside, and I was able to pull this out without damaging it, and made this the area for my receiver. Now the receiver actually sat in there freely, which, you know, it just sat in there once I shoved it in there, but I didn't like the way it was sitting, so what I did was I got double-sided tape, put it on the bottom of the receiver, and then I taped it right to the bottom of this piece. So, you know, if this thing was to ever fly off, it ain't gonna go far because it's connected to the receiver anyway. And here is the antenna, so, you know, slides right in. And I'll probably put tape right over this thing anyway so that it doesn't come out. Antenna sticks right here. Shouldn't have any issues at all. So that is the third modification that I had to do to be able to set this jet up. So there it goes. Now, bigger battery, bigger fan, more weight. So hopefully I'm able to get the CG correct, since the battery is in a different area and the weight's different. So hopefully I can get that corrected. Shouldn't be that long, since in order to get me out there to the field and get a flight, and I'll be posting that. So if anybody's interested in doing a little bit of modification to this F-15 in the future, this is one way you can do it, you know. So thank you for watching. Hope this was helpful for to anybody that might modify their EDF, and you'll see a flight review pretty soon. Thank you.